on Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 6:30. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We call the roll, please.
Yeah, Mr. Tsiniakis.
Here.
Mrs. Conway.
Here.
Ms. Francolino.
Here.
Ms. Nest.
Here.
Mr. Manuki.
Here.
Mr. Donahue. Mr. Donahue's not here, and Mr. Parati. Not here. Okay, let the record show that Mr. Parati and Mr. Donahue are not here.
Okay. Does everybody get a chance to read the minutes of the last meeting? Somebody like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? No. Okay. Old business is none. New business, proposal for geotechnical analysis.
So let me just say from the outset, so just to frame this a little bit. So remember, we have $15,000 from the implementer bill for pool planning purposes. I started to fill out the application for the fire station stuff this morning. It's fairly straightforward. I think I should have everything. Like I think I can turn it around this week to get everything to the state so that the money will be released. The sum of, so it's, in other words, it won't take very long I think we're in a good place as far as that goes. The sum of the two proposals of the geotechnical analysis and the ground penetrating radar was $15,800. So slightly more than we get from the budget bill, but we can find $800 in our budget. That's not a problem. So, you know, both of these things are before you. I would say that Patrick only, there are a number of firms that can do the geotechnical analysis. It was his recommendation we focus just on the firm that was GNCB. That did that drilled the well, the holes in the wells two or 3 years ago when we did this exercise before at Mill. But when they did it for Mill, they did it all over Mill Pond Park and not just around Mill, the pond. So there's it's a slightly different thing, but they just have familiarity. They drilled one or two of the existing holes, so they sort of know what they're doing. So Patrick's opinion was they would come in lower than the other ones on price anyways. So there's just one quote in front of you as a result. And there's no, because the quote is for under 30,000, there's no purchasing requirement that we get multiple quotes and so forth.
I have a question. On the bottom of the first page of the GNBC thing, it says, since the adjacent GNBC observation wells show a shallow groundwater condition in the area. They already have wells there?
Well, they have at least one that they drilled, you know, back in 3 years ago.
So those are in 2021.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And my other question would be, we're in the middle of a drought right now. So does it make sense to do this in the middle of a drought?
Probably not, but I mean, I suspect that will change. So, I mean, we still need to wait to get the money. Like what I would suggest is we wait until the state formally releases the money anyways before we enter into a contract. And then I would suggest we delay it until, I mean, between Patrick and the principal here at Mr. Freed, I'm sure they know what, you know, they would know there's no point in drilling during.
Yeah, I'm sure
during the drought.
they're professionals. They would know when to drill. I would assume.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta go to my list here. Okay, and the other thing, my question was, is there a point of doing the radar and geotech if the pools can't be reopened, if Weston and Sampson's study comes back and says, no, we can't touch these, they're falling
So-
apart?
Yeah, so I asked Patrick, because Eileen had raised concerns about just, you know, whether the pools are safe in the first place, and we're just throwing good money after that. And I have Patrick's email here somewhere in my files. I must have left it on my desk, but I'll read it to you from my phone. So Patrick said, we have not reached the conclusion that the pools are essentially condemned and need to be demolished. We are still awaiting the concrete strength testing, and assuming it is adequate, and we expect it will be, we will evaluate how the existing shells can be salvaged and adapted to support a renovated facility. Let me just read the whole email, just so we're clear. We have not yet reached the conclusion that the pools are essentially condemned and need to be demolished based on the sounding. We are still awaiting the concrete strength testing, and assuming it is adequate, and we expect it will be, we will evaluate how the existing shells can be salvaged and adapted to support a renovated facility. The geotechnical work is mostly due diligence, but with some consultation as to how the soil can be improved. We expect high groundwater. The ground penetrating radar is to understand if there are significant voids that would need to be addressed as part of any alterations at Churchill. Based on structural analysis performed, we are not concerned with imminent structure failure at this time. So.
But their testing isn't complete, right? Based on that, it says that the concrete
Correct.
strength testing isn't complete, so we really don't know. Right? It's just based on this time.
Correct, but I mean, at the
Right,
same
but
time,
he's not concerned at this point. I mean,
if we're gonna go ahead with this study, I mean, we start from the premise that they're salvageable until they tell us otherwise.
Right.
And the money is mostly coming from the state anyway, so we're not raiding our own coffers to pay for this stuff.
And the other question I had was that should we be able to open these pools again? And it sounds okay. Maybe we're taking a guess, a gamble that we're going to be able to. The rate of return, circulation of the water doesn't meet health code right now.
Correct.
We have a 1-year extension for Mill. I haven't heard if we had an extension for Churchill or not. So what happens there? Nothing.
Well, if the health department says we can't open the pools, we can't open the pools.
that's not before. us.
That's not the
We're
question
looking at
before
these,
us.
these two issues
Yeah.
at this point, right?
Mhm. Mhm. But that's just an issue at Mill that I don't know how you fix that, but
It's
Okay.
also at Churchill as well.
Right. I mean, there's issues that down the road, I mean, that those things have to get fixed. We know that. I mean, we know there's repairs that need to get done.
mhm. Okay, so drought is answered, safe to open next summer. Sorry, I took notes. Okay. Okay, and go ahead, Carol.
Okay, so we're going on the premises that we're gonna renovate the pools and not build new at a different location if the reports all come back.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what that's what we put all of our eggs in that basket of for this. If Patrick comes back and says, sorry, the pools are gonna collapse tomorrow, well, then we have to go a totally different direction. But that's the path we've been going down for the last 4 or 5 months, so.
Right, I understand, but I don't know if that was a specific charge of the commission, of this committee. It's to look at look at everything, all the different possibilities. So we're not even entertaining possibly going another location to look at the cost of that.
I
Not
mean,
yet, at least. I
Yeah.
mean, it depends on the report that comes
Okay.
out.
So so there's a
We're in very early
consensus.
stages right now.
There's a
Yeah.
consensus that we're going the renovation route as it stands right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, personally,
I
I
don't
want to
think
do the
so.
most cost effective and
I
time
understand that,
down
but
one,
that's not,
yeah.
that wasn't our charge. Our
Yeah.
charge was to see what the best
Yeah.
thing is
Yeah.
for the town.
Yeah.
So, so if we're gonna do that and then possibly renovate the pool house or whatever, that's fine. I just wanted to know why we weren't going both avenues.
Yeah.
And looking at both things, because everything points to renovate, renovate, renovate.
I think you're right that we need to look to see where we would get the most bang for our buck, because it could very well be that the cost of renovation is so big and so deep that relocating the pool might be our best bang for our buck. We don't know. And our charge says upgrade the town's aquatic facilities. It doesn't say they have to stay in one place. We could move them if we had to. We don't know what's down there. We don't know, you know, who knows what it's made out of? I don't know. I don't know what the cost is in terms of moving versus we might have to blow it up and leave it where it is and build a new one where it is. Who knows? I think that's to be determined, in my opinion.
We'll see what it comes back to.
Yep.
Go from there.
Yep. I think that's the safe thing to do. I don't think we can rule out moving them because it could be cheaper. Who knows? I mean, I don't think Churchill could be moved because I don't know where you'd move it to. You'd have to rearrange the whole flipping park, which would be kind of crazy, but I don't know. I think we have to just look at that when the time comes. I thought he was coming today. That's why I was not ready for this. I apologize. So what's your feeling about the radar and the geotech?
Wait a second. So
Mhm.
is there a motion for the geotechnical before you move on?
I have just one quick question
Yeah.
before, it's more than just like my own curiosity. The other proposal has like kind of like a time frame. Do you have like a rough idea about how long this process takes for us to get like results back if they start the ball rolling on this?
Does it, where, I'm sorry.
The RSI one?
So in the other proposal that we got, the one that we're gonna talk about next, they have like a time frame on like how long it usually takes, but in this one, there's no mention.
You
So
mean the 2 days versus 1 day? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, well, I was just curious on like how long, like they go out there, they do the boring and all that kind of stuff. Like, do you know how long that takes just to get the results back?
I don't know the answer.
That's
to
okay.
that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
just my own curiosity.
I'll say this, what Patrick told me when we spoke on the phone 2 weeks ago was that he expects to have a draft report ready for the next pool meeting, which is on October 27th. He would come to that meeting, you know, we could distribute it, get feedback from the committee so that he could, you know, he could finalize it. I would presume that the results of the ground penetrating radar study and the geotechnical analysis will either be incorporated into that final report or will be some sort of addendum to it.
If you get that report before our 10/27 meeting, could you distribute it?
Yeah,
to us
that's
so we can
why we'd
comment?
be having the meeting on the 27th,
Instead of
would be
waiting
for him to attend and for you guys to provide feedback.
Right, okay, that would be great, thank you. So, any other questions, anything you'd like to ask? Bernadette?
Well, I would just add, I don't have any questions other than, when I agreed to be on this committee and coming into it, I thought it was looking at all aspects of it, not just repairing what's there. What would be best, gathering all the costs from soup to nuts, from either repairing or replacing completely to see
Look at,
What-
don't look at me. I'm just the secretary.
Just to, what the best course of action would be, the best way to move forward, for a long term, for, not just a temporary fix, but long term. So I do want to look at every option, not just repairing what's there. So we have to get all the information, and which is what we're doing, and we'll go from there. And I know this is lined up, and it'll be great to get that information and see what it says.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Tim, you want to say something?
This is to get the information. So we're way down the road from deciding whether we build here, there, or we repair, or we renovate, or whatever. We have to get the information first. And so we're just looking at these two proposals to get more information. That's what we're looking at tonight.
I think where I get a question is in this one from GMBC, it says, However, at this time, rather than constructing a new pool at Mill Pond Park, we understand you want to investigate renovating the existing pools at both parks. We want to investigate both. That's that. I would like to hope that.
Okay, I know I said don't look at me, but I do feel like I need to interrupt her. So when we first met, I presented you guys with a proposal about, the feasibility study of everything on the table, this, that, where location, et cetera, of new pools that got sort of redirected to, let's focus right now on focusing about whether the pools can be salvaged in their current location. So that was as a result, we went out to RFP for for consultants that could evaluate the feasibility or the viability of those pools or repairing them and what we need to do and provide cost estimates. So we had a discussion about 5 months ago about, whether we want to look at, moving the pool here or there, or, flat splash pad here, and, those kind of feasibility analysis. Committee at that time directed me to do an RFP, to write an RFP for just evaluating the viability of repairing the pools in their current location. So all good points, but at the same time, like we had this conversation 5 months ago or whenever it was, and we're here because of decisions the committee made. Now, if Patrick comes back and says, Weston Sampson comes back and says either, you can repair the pools for, however many millions of dollars, you have to do this, and this, the committee at that point could say, okay, this seems like a good way forward. Let's vote on whether to recommend to council that this go on a voter referendum, or alternatively, you could say, yikes, that seems like probably not our best approach. Maybe we should go back to the drawing board and evaluate whether, we should put the pools in new locations and build something new. That's the committee's prerogative to do. But like, we've already gone like sort of 80% of the way to getting this first question answered. If you don't like the results of that first question, then let's rally the, circle the wagons and start again. I mean, there's the issue of finding money and all that for those studies, but that's a bridge we can cross when we get to that. That makes sense.
I guess it's hard to say yikes if you don't know what you're comparing it to. That's where I get stuck. It's hard to say yikes, we don't like this if we don't know what the alternative is.
Well, we could dive into that after we
Yeah,
get
at
this
that-
information.
Right,
Yeah,
right, I
yeah.
get
At
that.
that point, we
And
can
we
discuss it.
can't forget that the voters said no, thank you to the first
It
proposal.
was a lot of money.
There's a lot of money.
Right?
And
So
it-
they said no, thank you, because they wanted to see this process.
Right, and I think.
So now we're going down this
Right.
process. If we say,
Right.
okay, we don't like this process anymore, we want to go. So we gotta play this card from
Right.
this hand out to the conclusion, so we
Correct.
can.
I don't disagree with
We
that,
can-
but I don't think that it's not that we don't like this process. We want to be sure that Newington is getting the best bang for its buck. That if we go through with this process and it says, okay, this costs $10 million. Could we build another pool that would be in a better location or for $10 million or for $9 million or for $8 million? Who knows? We don't have those numbers. We have numbers for a very big pool,
Yeah, big-
with a big splash pad and another big splash pad at the other pool. So that, could that be pared down and cost less? Sure.
I get that, but that's not the discussion for tonight. Tonight,
No,
the
I
discussion
understand
is this proposal and this proposal.
I understand that.
So we can sit here and every meeting talk about what we could do, but we don't, we need to continue this process till we get to the point of the end of this process.
So John, do you need a motion for this?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would suggest that you make a motion for the geotechnical analysis, and I think, and the ground penetrating radar. I would say something like that in your motion, subject to successful application for
Grant.
funds from the state. And in the case of the geotechnical analysis, just to protect yourselves, maybe, subject to a determination from our engineer that we're not in a drought conditions or.
Yeah,
something
weather
like that.
conditions
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, whatever you said.
So the motion would
So
be,
moved.
I move to award the geotechnical analysis contract to GNCB, subject to available the allocation of available state funds and determination from the project manager that
Weather conditions.
weather conditions are appropriate. So that would Carol.
Mhm.
Second.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I have a question. I should ask this. What happens if we don't get the funds from the state?
We'll get the funds from the state. It's
Okay.
like administrative, because
I understand that, but you never know.
We have a new session coming up, so.
Write a check.
so I mean, well, then we'll cross that bridge
Back
when we
to the
We'll
come
have to come back,
Yeah.
yeah. If we don't get the funds, the motion's null
Yeah,
and
because
void.
you have subject to the
Yeah.
funds. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just move forward this and then we'll cross, once we get everything, then we can go down and, if the committee feels that they want to look at other options at that point, then I think we should have to explore it. I think we owe it to the town to explore every option that's out there. And not just pigeonhole ourselves into a certain location.
Agreed. Okay, so we're done with both of those.
No,
We
we're
have
done
to
with
make
one of them.
another, we
Yeah.
have to make another motion for the ground credit and the trading radar. Want to do that?
Yes, I make a motion that we move forward with the ground penetrating radar test.
subject to available state funds or something.
And is this weather I wouldn't,
I don't think so.
I
I
think this
wouldn't
is
think
just
so. I
finding
don't think
holes
it-
in the rock.
I think it said it's more based on like the type of soil and.
yeah, right,
I
so
don't
the
know.
weather would make a
The geo,
difference.
yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter the weather.
Is
hopefully
that
not.
complete enough, or do I need to say?
No, well, I mean, just with that caveat, subject to available state funds or something.
Subject to the availability of state funds.
Second?
Second, okay, Eileen, second.
No, I was looking for a second.
Oh, second. I thought so. I thought you couldn't take it. You couldn't be a second.
No,
but-
I was looking for a
I
second.
know. Well, you
All-
said it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, public participation. Oh, my goodness.
We do have two people on Zoom.
Okay,
Mr. DeMayo, do you have a comment about this?
you there, Bill? That mic is shut off down the bottom. I don't know if that matters.
No, he's probably stepped away from his phone.
Who's the other person?
My girlfriend.
What's her thoughts?
She had a comment.
We don't need to hear her comments respectfully. Sorry, Sarah.
Bring supper home.
Hear it later.
Yeah, you'll hear the comments
She's in
later.
town, she can speak. You there, Bill? Bill's not there.
Not there.
Going once, going twice. Come on, Bill.
Oh, wait, there's Bill. Okay.
Here we go.
Let's
Hello,
see.
Bill.
Allow to talk. Here we go. Wait, I'll try that again.
You there, Bill?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep.
That's a lot of work to say, no, I don't have anything to contribute.
Seriously? That's bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have any questions for me, do you? I mean, it's pretty simple. No.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope. Thanks for coming.
Yep.
I'll come back now.
Yeah, here?
All righty, and the other person we don't need to worry about. Okay, comments from committee members?
I think it's important that we all kind of just take this one step at a time. I don't think anyone's committed to repair or moving at this point. We don't have enough information to make a decisive decision like that. So this is a process. It's slow. It's gonna be slow. So I think just we gotta take it as it comes and just work with what's in front of us at that time. And then we could, look at the bigger picture once we have all the information we need.
You're supposed to start with Tim.
There.
This
Oh, I'm sorry, Tim, you can go next.
I yield.
Go ahead, you're up.
I agree with AJ. I think this is a process. I think if we rush it and then we start trying to cut corners, the voters are gonna reject whatever we propose because they're gonna see it as not a full process. And so we don't wanna run the risk of sending something back to referendum again and have the voters say, oh, we didn't do all, dot all our T, or dot all our Is and cross all our Ts, because they'll just project it again, and there's a lot of other projects that are coming due to the town, and they're all gonna start piling up, and it's just gonna be a problem. In the next couple of years.
I have no comment. I said enough tonight.
Oh, no, thank you for clarifying the whole procedure. I just wanted being accusatory or anything, just wanted to make sure I had an understanding, this being my first time on the committee, just wanted to make sure I was getting it right. So that's all, and thank you.
Okay, only thing I have to say is I'm excited to hear what Weston and Sampson has to say, and I look forward to their report next meeting. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're good.